Hey everyone, welcome back to an Extrovert Paints. So I have a new set of rules coming my way. You might have heard of it. It's called Reality's Edge. It's a cyberpunk RPG slash skirmish game. I'll have the book in hand relatively soon. I have a PDF copy. I've been reading the rules, so I kind of know a little bit about the game, but I don't want to do a full review on it until I have the book in hand. So until that point, bear with me. We are going to be looking at other miniatures for the game as I wait for the actual book to arrive. So in front of us right now, I've got Khurasan Miniatures Scavs. They're 28 millimeter. They're actually a little bit smaller than 28s. I'm going to say they're more like between 25 and 28. With the tallest being 28, the shortest being 25. They do range and height, which is kind of nice. It kind of, they're supposed to represent a population of people, and as you know, not everyone is the same height. So there is a bit of a scaling difference there for those who like sort of a uniform height among the miniatures. Maybe these miniatures aren't going to be for you. I like them. They're really insanely well detailed. Now what I've done is I've taken a few of the guys and I've removed their bases because I'm going to rebase them anyway. And one of the things I'm really impressed with is the amount of little details and such on them. So this is just a guy kind of waving down his fellow scavs. And then I have this lady badass here who has, like, I'm assuming that's like a crossbow, and I don't know what kind of weapon this is. In Reality's Edge, it'll probably end up being something like an assault rifle or something. So a little bit different than what these miniatures were used for. One of the cool things I like is these little visor masks that they have on. I think they're going to be a lot of fun to paint. The paint scheme that the official website has, I'll link that in the description below, is pretty post-apocalyptic, a little bit like wastelandy kind of colors, like think Africa Core, and then apply that to like post-apoc cyberpunk style miniatures, and that's kind of what you have here. I don't know if I'm going to go with that paint scheme. I was thinking about it, and one of the things I am looking at doing is I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring it out. I'm not quite sure who these are going to represent in that game. I'm thinking like a bit of like a raider gang or something like that attacks the city, or that lives in like the underdark, like the lowest portion of society. And I'll talk about that more when we get into the book, but there is some flashing on here. I do have to clean up some of the flashing, and I like the variety of armor types that they have. So these are obviously scavs, is short for scavengers, and you can tell by the armor that pretty much these are kind of hobbled together pieces. So if you look, I'll pull a couple up here, you can see that they're not all the same. Like backpacks, some of the gear is similar. Like these two both have look like oxygen tanks on their back, and then even on the front, their weapons are different. Well, these two have similar weapons, but not the same weapons, because if you look at them, they are different. And so like different armor types, different weapons, different stuff on their belts. So it is going to be pretty neat. I'm looking forward to painting them up, and I might even do a painting tutorial on them, just because they look really cool. This guy, I don't know how he's wielding such a huge gun. It's like the size of him, but it's a little ridiculous. But yeah, they're pretty neat looking. So yeah, pretty soon I will do a video painting them up. Again, you can see some of the flash I have to remove there. Honestly, it's not too bad. The one complaint that I have is it's like, all right, so it's a one person company, I think. I think it's only one person that runs the whole place and does all the shipping and order verification and all that stuff. Not the easiest guy to get a hold of. Now, I understand when you are the only person doing everything, it can be extremely difficult to answer emails and messages, but it might benefit them to look into getting somebody to just handle their ordering process, because so the guy sends an email to you almost immediately after you order, and he says, all right, well, I'll probably get to this in a week, maybe a few days, which is very vague, right? And then he didn't send me any sort of update that it shipped, and I got the stuff like a week after I ordered it, like a week and a day. So it was like 8 days total. But I realized that not all of those are shipping days. So the guy is only a state away from me. So I'm assuming that it might have been in transit 2 days, maybe less. So let's say it's been in transit 2 days. So that's 6 days without any sort of verification that it shipped. None. And that normally wouldn't be a problem. Like, some people don't care about that sort of thing. I do. I like knowing when stuff is going to arrive so I can plan videos and content around that arrival time. So, if it's coming on a weekend, that gives me plenty of time to put out these videos. But if it's coming at the beginning of a week, well, now I know that I have to do other things because it's not going to arrive in time. And so that is a little frustrating for me as a content creator and as someone who paints, quite a lot and tries to put out, a lot of painted miniatures in a timely manner. But, that's the only complaint that I have. And honestly, the miniatures look great, so I'm not even that upset. I just want to paint them up. But I do think that if the guy is listening, whoever he is, that puts these miniatures together and sells them on his website, really think about potentially just, understanding that some people like having that information, and it would not hurt him to get that information out. So that's all I wanted to say. The miniatures look great. I'm looking forward to painting them up and talking more about Reality's Edge. We'll look at more miniatures for this game as it goes along. And that's it. That's it for now. So I'll catch you guys later on.